welcome back to UAL Season 4. We are here at Race 4 here at Phoenix, which has produced some very good races in the past. We still got a long way to go in the championship, as they are currently out there qualifying. There's going to be some very short lap times. There's your track map. This is the first time this series has gone on the repaved Phoenix, where the front stretch is now in the dog leg. We have 6 cars that have currently set a time right now. OxyClean in first, but he is now in traffic behind the 51 of Max Cold. Max Cold moves out of the way and will go on the high side. So he's going to get some speed starting his lap. OxyClean currently 4th in the championship, so starting up front here would be very good for him. Beijing Beef shoots up to 4th, as now Gus Fringe goes 3rd. As now Goodman goes 2nd. Chris goes up to 2nd now. OxyClean and Chris have been together at the front of the grid before. OxyClean giving a good draft to Phil Slow, who is currently down in 6th. Side by side now, going through the front stretch. Phil Slow's going to pull ahead. OxyClean's going to be on the high side. Goodman goes 2nd, as Phil Slow had a good lap, and that shoots him up to 1st. Still side by side with OxyClean, so side by side, just trying to get a good qualifying lap. OxyClean will pull into pit road with about 5 minutes left. Beijing Beef now shoots up to 4th, as Chad Broski goes 2nd. Chris shoots back up to 2nd, currently way down on the inside, going into turns 1 and 2, which used to be 3 and 4, as the front stretch used to be what the back stretch is now. Tetsu goes 7th, as Missing Sock shoots up to 3rd. That is OxyClean's teammate, so if that team can do well this race, that'll be very good for them. "24 cars have set a speed so far. We're currently waiting on Sussus Amogus to set a lap right now, as he just has, but will be 25th, so probably just an out lap. Current time to beat, 27 seconds. This Missing Sock will pull in. Tetsu shoots up to 2nd a couple laps ago. Currently behind him is the Sun, who is down all the way to 25th now. Will rise up to 19th. So it's going to be interesting to see how the racing changes with the front stretch being in a different location. The previous 2 races at Phoenix were very different. The first one was pretty spread out. The second one was close pack racing. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one performs compared to previous races. About 3 minutes left on the clock here in qualifying, and then we will shoot over to the race. Last race winner is Phil Slow, who is currently 1st right now. Down in 7th in the points though, because at Homestead they were involved in an accident, and then they made a mistake at Imola, which could have been a potential win. So the 07 is fast, but just needs to get the consistency down. A lot of cars are about to come back out onto the track. You gotta be perfectly behind the car to get a good draft. You can't be too close or you're gonna have to lift off. But if you're too far back, you're not really gonna be in that draft. Sixth gear all the way around this track. Lifting in the turns. I don't know if 3 and 4 or sorry, 1 and 2 are flat out. We will see. No, it definitely seems like there was a lift there. And I know in 3 and 4 you definitely have to lift as both turns are tighter. Currently no one challenging. Phil Slow's teammate, Spencer Alfredo, is down in 11th, got a top 10 finish. Also had a very rough start to the season. Yeah, we're not really seeing any improvements right now, as Phil Slow has returned to pit road, seeing if anyone in the top 5 is in a good drafting position to maybe try and improve their time, but I don't think so. A lot of the cars are spread out. I mean, there's a little pairing right here, but that was a major liftoff going through the turn, so I think an incident may have happened to John Panini, as he is slow going around the apron. May have missed pit road or something. 23 seconds left. I don't think we're going to see any improvements on time, which would give Phil Slow the pole. Chris trying to come back out, but it's too little too late, as checkered flag's out, waiting on some cars to come around. Waiting to see if there is any improvements on some cars that are currently behind other cars trying to get a draft. But I don't think any pass in position was going to happen. So now the cars will come into pit road with Phil Slow, who will be on the pole. So we're currently waiting on some of the cars to finish up going around. But it's going to be Phil Slow, Tetsu, Chris, Spring Roll, and Missing Sock, who are currently already gone to the garage. That's your top 5. As there is your starting grid. We've got on row 1, Phil Slow and Tetsu. Tetsu currently battling up at the front in this championship, so he's gonna have to try and go for it. We have in row 2, Chris, and Spring Roll. Spring Roll moved up a good amount of positions in points after a good race at Barber. Chris's race could have gone a lot better. Row 3, Missing Sock and Chad Broski just trying to gain some spots in points. On Jacques Croissant and Gus Fringe will be in row 4. Row 5, Saul Goodman and OxyClean. OxyClean currently 4th in the championship. And then Pole Sitter's teammate, Spencer Alfredo and Max Cold, will be in row 6. Row 7 will be Wine Silliman and Rogero Espinel. And then row 8 will be Kirishima and Beijing Beef. Beijing Beef, I believe, is the points leader, after having a really good race at Barber. It resulted in a podium. Row 9 is Sasa Mogus and David Bialois. As then you got in row 10, David Bialois' teammate, Eliza Doe, lined up alongside John Panini. And then you got back in row 11, the father and the son, a pair of teammates. And then in row 12 is Diogo Sebastio and May Borowski. And rounding out your field, Mahavir Raghunathan. So everyone qualified within a second of first place. So that shows that this race is going to be very close. Speaking of close, here's the championship. Although it's not that close right now, as I don't know why it scrolled down that much, but there you go. Beijing Beef currently leads by 12 points over Tetsu Tetsu, then Gus Fringe in third, OxyClean in fourth, Chris in fifth. As that is not current, that is... It's actually, yeah, that is current. Yeah. Eliza Doe, Phil Slow, our pole sitter in seventh, and Spencer Alfredo, David Bialois, Max Cold, John Panini, Jacques Croissant, Springroll, Kirishima, Chad Broski, the Sun, Wine Silliman, Missing Sock, and then your bottom drivers, Saul Goodman was battling for the win at Barber, but ended up crashing, which dropped him down 7 spots in the points, which is not what he needed to have. The father is in 20th, May Borowski 21st, Sasa Samogus 22nd, Mahavir Raghunathan stayed in 23rd, and then Espinel and Sebastio joined late this season, so they're going to have to try and catch up. And then we take a look at your team standings. Spring Speed went up 6. Magenta Saucies also went up 6. Silly Snorters and the Flat Earthers round out your top 3. Then it's the Graveyard, Laundry Boys, Los Polos Hermanos, Team YouTube, La Vitesse, BFL Racing, the Italian Mob, Team RAS, Raghunathan Racing, and then Ruodam, Sebastio Racing Foot. Let's take a look at your weather before your race. Gonna take place in the afternoon, about 4 p.m. is track time. 9 miles per hour in wind, just dropped down to 8 miles per hour. Temperature is 82 degrees, track temp is 102 degrees. The track's pretty warm, but could be a lot hotter, especially when we're in Arizona. This is kind of relatively normal temperatures. 24% humidity, so it's pretty clear. As we are about ready to get going. 90 laps. Your grid scrolling across the top of the screen again, just before the race starts. The engine starting to come to life. So the 07 and the 9 gonna be on the front row. We're gonna have a lot of hard chargers behind. There's also gonna be the dog leg. So these drivers gonna try and be aggressive down through there. As the cars are starting to pick up the speed where they used to start. Now they head into 3 and 4, but they've already accelerated the top line, already falling back as Phil Slow jumped way early. But we are green. Chris now already trying to fight for that inside line. Down the inside, missing Sock in the middle. But Phil Slow trying to hold on through that outside. The outside seemed to work, but will Chris try and send it in through 3 and 4? No, does not look like they'll be able to go for it. Close battling throughout the pack. Everyone spread within 3 seconds. Seems like Mahavir Raghunathan has fallen off the back. But we stay green as we are coming to lap 3. Phil Slow has led every lap so far. Chris trying to draft. Will they try and go for it going into 3 and 4? Chris blocked Saul Goodman, which could have ended very badly as he was coming very fast. But Chris is now trying to go for the lead. Down the inside, going into 3 and 4. But Chris will take the lead on lap 4. Phil Slow now driving side by side with their teammate Spencer Alfredo, but Alfredo goes to the lead. Spencer Alfredo trying to shove it up the inside. Got Saul Goodman right behind them in the 60. Through 3 and 4, Spencer Alfredo now into the lead. Spencer Alfredo, biggest mover, up 10 spots so far. Closes the door on Saul Goodman, won't let him by. But here comes Sussus Amogus, up 14 spots, trying to go down the inside. Spencer Alfredo was ready for him. He'll close the door. Most of the group is in this one pack, except for Mahavir Raghunathan, who has fallen off the back of the grid. Close, exciting racing as Sussus Amogus trying to go for it again. He'll draw even with the 60, but will go for it and send it up the inside. Sussus Amogus, now your leader, up 16 spots. Biggest loser, Tetsu down 16 spots. He is down in 18th right now. Been clean so far, as here goes Fringe trying to go down the inside. He's also battling for a championship, so he's got a lot on the line right now. Gus Fringe now to the lead. Sussus Amogus will drop back as Fringe trying to break away with Wine Silly Man. Trying to get it done. Eliza Doe, however, is coming up fast. Ready to send it down the inside, but the door was closed just in time. The door was closed earlier. Eliza Doe would have gotten by, but if it was closed later, there would have been an accident, as an accident almost happens again. Trying to block aggressively. Eliza Doe may be a little too far back to try and get something done for 3 and 4. Three wide for third. Chad Broski almost making contact with Wine Silly Man, but here comes Eliza Doe trying to send it down the inside. Once again, the door gets closed, but Chad Broski fighting on the outside will now get the draft from Fringe, but wasn't able to move down to the inside in time. May try and pass on the outside. How's this gonna work? It seems like Broski's still trying to hold on. Can't move to the inside because Eliza Doe is right there. Currently look at the track map. Does not seem like they'll be coming up on lap traffic anytime soon. As Eliza Doe now shoves it up the inside to try and take the lead. But Fringe is going to get the run on the outside, but I think Eliza Doe will outbreak him in the turn. As now Eliza Doe trying to get to the lead, but Fringe is going to have to run on the outside. Side by side. About even as they bump going through 3 and 4. Fringe again going to be on the outside as we're 3 wide for 3rd. It's getting crazy as now Fringe back in front, closes the door. Eliza Doe moves up to the middle. Is now going to get swallowed by the pack unless if she can hang on. As she does right there. Phil Slow right behind her. Biggest mover right now is Eliza Doe, up 17 spots since the start, as she will now go up 18 spots as she passes Fringe in the corner, but leaves the space open for Phil Slow to try and return to the lead. Gonna have to try and go for it through 1 and 2. Got the Favre right behind him, who's up 17 spots. I think Phil Slow is gonna get her, as now he's moving to the middle, may open the door for the Favre, who almost hits Chad Broski. Broski now on the outside. Phil Slow not getting the run off of 3 and 4 is now, 1 and 2. So now Broski is into the lead. I'm surprised it's been clean so far. Had a lot of good racing throughout the field, but a lot of risky and dangerous racing. Phil Slow trying to come back down on the inside, but the Favre is there. They send it down the inside. The Favre just gonna edge out ahead to take the lead at the line. He'll lead that lap. But will he be able to hold on for the next lap? Beijing Beef, the points leader, coming up behind. Sitting in 3rd position. Favre not getting the run off of 2, as that will put Phil Slow right back into the lead. $19 laps, all of them green so far. Phil Slow leads with the Favre and Broski battling for 2nd, but the Favre's going to send it going into turn 1. Or will Phil Slow try and take the lead back on the outside, going off of turn 2? Back down into 3 and 4, the Favre holding well, as now he will go back to the lead. A lot of time left in this race. As now Beijing Beef going to the inside. Beijing Beef, your points leader, now to the lead, unless the Favre can get a good run on the outside. Does not look like it, as now Beijing Beef in a good spot, as there was a little bit of contact. The Favre bumped into Beijing Beef, trying to get a draft, going into 1 and 2. Made him lose momentum, as now he's kind of dropping back a little bit, as Tetsu, who was the biggest loser earlier, is now trying to fight for 2nd. almost 3 wide for the lead. This is literally anyone's race. The people at the back for the first like 10 laps or so did not move at all, but now they're starting to mingle throughout the field. As now Gus Fringe, who is back up at the front, as now 3 wide going into turn 1. Eliza Dill on the inside, almost some contact, but I think Beijing Beat had the preferred line. And now has cleared Eliza Dill unless she can send it going into turn 1. Yeah, a lot of positions changing quickly. The father is now all the way down in 11th, and he was just the leader only a couple laps ago. Eliza Doe trying to get a win for the team, going down the inside, and will take first, but here comes Broski. The door was open. Broski's in a good spot to try and get a run. Gonna have to try and send it into 3 and 4s. Now Chad Broski is now your leader. What a good move. As now Broski's your leader, but how long will that stick? As now Beijing Beef has pulled alongside Chad Broski going into 1 and 2, as now Beijing Beef has cleared him, but will he try and get a run back on the outside? Now will Max Cold try and send it on the inside to try and take the lead? He might try, but it's not good enough on that attempt. We'll see how he'll do next lap if he does get another shot at it. Way down below the dog leg. 3 wide for second, as Fringe kind of muscles his way around Max Cold, as Gus Fringe now trying to go around the outside of Beijing Beef, as he is in a protective area right now. Cars further back are trying to go single file, but the cars at the front are going 2-3 wide, as now Fringe on the inside. Beijing Beef may try and attack on the outside. As now into 3 and 4, Beijing Beef still the leader. Get bonus points for leading the most laps. Also is the biggest mover, but that does not earn points. He is up 15. Biggest loser is his teammate Springroll, down 16. He's all the way back in 20th. Track map just to see if there's any lap traffic nearby, about half a lap away. So maybe around lap 60 we'll get some lap traffic interference. Beijing Beef holding on very well. But what about this lap? Does not look like Fringe is close enough to make a pass. As now here comes Fringe, pulling alongside. Wheel to wheel going into 3 and 4s. Now Fringe has finally changed the lead. But Sussa Samoga is trying to come on the inside. Doesn't got position, as a big lift through 1 and 2. The whole inside lines almost stacked up, as now Beijing Beef moves back into the lead because of that massive lift from Fringe. It's a chain reaction. A lot of those guys that were on the inside have fallen back a bit. But now Fringe fighting his way around turn 2. Beijing Beef should get the advantage going onto the front stretch, but now Fringe picking up speed is gonna break a little bit later going into 1 and 2. Still trying to get the lead safe and secure. As Beijing Beef has a big wobble going into 1. But now Fringe it's safe to say that he is the leader, unless Beijing Beef will send it down the inside, which he does, to take that spot back. As of now, it's really a 2-car race up at the front, unless anyone can come back and change that. As now here comes the 32 down on the inside, goes a little bit below the yellow line, and now into turn 1, was safely the leader until he lifted off, as now Fringe is going to battle back on the outside. As now Fringe still holding on to the lead, but got pretty close right there in turns 1 and 2. Still just a lot of pack racing. Been very clean so far. We're coming up on the halfway point already, as this has been a very fast race. It's going to be interesting to see how the pit stops work, though, as we haven't seen green pit stops on an oval this season so far. We saw some pit stops at Homestead, but it was under yellow, as now Kirishima goes down the inside, up 14 spots since the start. But is now going to have to try and defend from the 32, who's just going to stay behind on this lap. Probably waiting for the right moment to strike as they try and go for it on the front stretch. 3 wide for third. As contact, but they keep it green. Beijing Beef hits the side of Chad Broski. How did they hold on to that? As Kirishima drops back, getting past, as now Broski is into first. As now Sussa Samogus, pretty similar looking car, will go down the inside of Chad Broski and will now lead this lap. Back down, back straightaway. Sussa Samogus still in good position. As now Spring Roll, who was the biggest loser, down in 20th not too long ago, is now into first. Yeah, just a lot of positions just changed so fast. You never know where a driver could be in 10 laps. Right now, Susasamoga's trying to fight back on the outside. Spring roll just gotta stay close. As Beijing Beef absolutely sends it on the inside under his teammate. That could have been dangerous. You don't want contact between two teammates. That does not go over too well. Springroll trying to move up a little bit, try and get Susasamogas into the dirty line that's not really used. As now Chad Broski trying to go for the lead, pretty wide. As we go to the front stretch, Springroll just ahead on that lap. Chad Broski now in the lead. As we are over the halfway point, the lead just keeps changing. Is now down the front straight again. Back straight. Just very exciting racing. You never know what's going to happen next. 49 of 90. Now we're down to lap 50. We're closing in on the finish. Slowly but surely. As now May Borowski battling up at the front. Biggest mover, up 22 spots since the start. Started all the way back in 24th. But now, here comes Spring Roll. Absolutely sending it down the inside. A lot of passing. As the two red cars up at the front have basically been up there the whole time. At least the last 15 or so laps. As now we have closed in on lap traffic. How is this going to go over? How's this going to shake up the field? You can never be quite sure. Will it end up in a wreck? It's too early to say just now. You're not going to know until they've actually gone through the car. That is Mahavir Raghunathan, who dropped back early at the start. He probably wants a yellow, just for him to catch up. He's had a rough season so far. Just hoping he can get some points under his belt. Now Broski and Susasamoga still battling for the front as they're coming up on the lap car. Where will they get him? If they get him in the turn, they'll definitely shake something up. Chad Broski having to slow down as he's actually going to come into the pits. We got a couple of cars in the pits. That is Chad Broski, Max Cole. I believe that to be David by Lois missing sock in spring roll. Now up at the front, we're going to have to see how this pit stops go over. As more cars peel off. Got a couple cars up the front. This will no doubt split up the field as Mate Borowski now trying to go for the lead. Just to get some extra points. Broski's pit stop is 7.7. We see some 8.2s, 8.3s, 12.4s. As now everyone has come in except for Sussa Samogas and the father. And I believe OxyClean has not pit either. So only the top three have not pit, as now the father goes to the lead. And Sussa Samogas trying to conserve some fuel. As now he will pull into the pits, but the father stays out. And is now the only car to be staying out, as OxyClean has pulled in as well. So we're going to have to see how this all shakes out, where the field will end up. We see a 6.9 from May Borowski. That is a very fast pit stop. As now the father is closed in. Trying to see where some of these other cars are, like where is Chad Broski in relation to Sussa Samogas, who had a 6.9 pit stop. Broski's all the way down to 10. Sussa Samogas is out in front, but is probably going to get caught by the leaders. Ray Borowski also got out ahead. The father coming out right now just ahead of Sussa Samogas. Everyone is pit now. The father out in front. If Sussa Samogas can meet him before the field catches him, this could end very well for these two. The father not really having the best season, neither with Sussa Samogas, so this will definitely help him in points. I think they're both outside the top 20. If the father isn't, he's definitely outside the top 15. Sussa Samogas now the leader. Cars behind starting to close in. Now would be a good time to show our track map. We have a little less than 30 to go. So we have a battle for third between May Borowski and Diogo Sebastio. But now here comes Eliza Doe trying to get pretty wide in that situation, but that's not going to work. Now we have a little bit of a front group, and this may be the group that goes all the way to the end. And a lot of them aren't doing too well in this championship. I think Eliza Doe is the best one in this group on points, and I think she is like 7th or... no, about like either 6th or under, like below 8. As now here comes May Borowski down the inside, trying to make it work. As now May Borowski goes to the lead here on lap 64, pretty wide for second. As this group is leaving the group behind in the dust. As May Borowski now gets passed by Sussa Samogas going into turn 3 and 4. Sussex Amogus is now your leader, followed by Eliza Doe, then May Borowski. Max Colt and Chad Broski round out your top 5. Now Eliza Doe goes to the lead. This group seems very competitive as Max Colt tries to send it. He's going to try and look for a gap down the inside through turn 4. As now Max Colt still just trying to look for a position. Spring Roll pops out of line, but does not have enough space to be able to make a pass. 25 laps to go, down to 24. Eliza Doe, still your leader, but here comes Max Colt with Spring Roll right behind him. Max Colt now to the lead. Max Colt just trying to hold on with Spring Roll right there. As yellow flag is out, Rogero Espinel is in the wall. Caution late in this race. That'll bring the field back together. Let's see if we can find out what happened. As we see right here, oh, was it contact with his teammate? There was contact with his teammate, Diogo Sebastio. He goes up in the air over the 15 of Eliza Doe. I don't even know how I didn't notice this, as that was literally the main group. So, again, whew, almost flipped over. That will definitely throw him into pit road. With Spring Roll now the leader at the time of the caution. Just after pit stops. So this field's going to be all bunched together again. The top 5 at the moment. Spring Roll, Max Colt, and then 3 and 4, Diogo Sebastio and Eliza Doe both got some damage. I assume Sebastio got some damage on his floor. We know the back wing of Eliza Doe is all scraped up. And Sussex Mogus is in 5th. And then rounding out your top 10 would be the father, May Borowski, Chad Broski, Kirishima, and Missing Sock. So we are going to get back going soon. As we have 21 laps to go, coming to 20 to go. It's going to be an all-out sprint. Biggest mover at this moment right now is Sebastio, up 20 spots. Since the start, biggest loser, our front row, Phil Slow and Tetsu Tetsu. They don't even show up on your top 20 right now, as they are 22nd and 23rd. Both down 21 spots. Even though it's still 20 laps to go, it's still gonna be a pretty long for the drivers. Especially the drivers at the front, it's gonna be long trying to hold on. It's probably going to go too fast for some of these guys at the back. As we will be going green next time the lights on the pace car are off. We're going to have to see how this restart will go. As the pace car pulls off, and the field went really early at the start, so will they go early again? We shall see, as they are picking up speed right now as we head into 1 and 2. Or, sorry, 3 and 4. The field very spread out after that. Cars went way early, but we are back under green as the top 3 split apart from the field. The field is very split up right now. But these guys are definitely going to be caught. I don't think they can survive on just 3 cars. As Max Cold now goes to the lead. Still over a second for the cars behind, but they're now going 3 wide. That is not helping their case. As the cars behind them are about a second above the cars behind them. Now Sebastio trying to pull alongside, trying to lead his first laps in this series. He'll come around, he will lead a lap. As 16 to go, the cars behind have caught up. As now I think we're going to have a 6-car shootout to the end. Spring roll trying to go down the inside. Let's see if that will work. No, it doesn't. Sebastio closes him off. They could hit lap traffic as Espinel is going for turn 2 right now. So they're less than half a lap away. Sebastio back to the lead again. As now here we go down into 1 and 2. We have 14 to go, so it's still gonna feel like a long race. Cars behind are about a second and a half back. They're trying to go fast, but not quite fast enough. Sebastio is in command at the front of 22 spots since the start, so that means he started 23rd. As now he will get passed on the inside by Max Cold. There's no need to be extremely aggressive right now. We still got a long race left as the cars behind have almost caught him. As now they have. Gonna have to see how much the aggressiveness will change now to try and hold on to the front as Sebastio almost hits Spring Roll. That was very aggressive, as now he's trying to send it through the middle. Down the back straight, I think Spring Roll's gonna get it. As, oh, there goes another car around. Spring Roll into the wall. Sebastio being very aggressive this race, as he has now taken out 2 cars. As now Sebastio and Max Cold are out on their own. 2.5 seconds to the cars behind. Side by side, here they come to lap traffic. Espinel probably not happy with Sebastio, as that is 2 cars he has taken out. As Gus Fringe has gone into pit road. Not quite what that was, but a very dirty move from Sebastio. Takes out Spring Roll. As now, it's about 3 seconds to the cars behind with 10 laps to go. Sebastian currently ahead of Max Cold. The cars behind are not catching up at all. What a dirty move from the 18. Still not quite sure what Gus Fringe is in pit lane for, but that will definitely harm him in the championship standings. This battle at the front keeps changing. This could be a good finish. Springroll will not be too happy with him. Doesn't seem like Springroll lost a lot of, or like got a lot of damage. He's just dropped out of the top 10 as we have 7 laps to go. Just under 3 seconds from the cars behind, so there is no pressure back there. The lead keeps changing up here. It's going to be interesting to see who wins. Here we go. Through 1 and 2. Now coming to the line. Max Cold once again going to shoot to the inside. Just going to be who can outsmart the other and get the win. We're all waiting to see. Eliza Doe seems like another car that was pretty fairly affected. Very far behind the lead group. Down the back stretch. Can Sebastian get his first win for his team? This is only his second start this season. That'll definitely put him back up into the championship fight. Or can Max Cold get his first win for his team? Both their teams have not won yet. Sebastian's did one race in Season 1 with Sebi Tipper, then did a full season with Sebi Tipper in Season 2, but that team went away in Season 3, but came back a little bit late in Season 4, but it's definitely not too late as the championship is far from being determined. 2 laps to go as now Sebastian will move back into the lead. Coming up on lap traffic, but I don't know if Eliza Doe will become a factor. Sebastian leads going through 3 and 4, as now here we go. 1 more lap. How will this go? Sebastian's going to have to defend from Max Cold, but Max Cold is already there. Sebastian falling back. And Max Cold taking a very defensive position, as now here we come. But he's going to get slowed up from the car in front. Sebastian going to try and go around the outside. 3 wide, and it's going to be Max Cold who gets the win just narrowly. What a race as Max Cold gets the win. Sebastian was not able to do it. He'll finish second. Saul Goodman will take home third. As John Panini will finish fourth. That's going to be very good for Team YouTube. And then Chad Broski finishes fifth. That's also going to be very good for RFL Racing. Seven hundredths of a second was the gap from first to second. If that lapped car was a driver, that would have been very close. Your unofficial results are scrolling across the top as Max Cold will get his first win in the series, first win for the team. That team gonna be all hyped up. It's gonna be ready to go next week at yet another oval. As now we will show you your final results. These are now official, I'm pretty sure. Max Cold gets the win. Diogo Sebastião tried using dirty tactics, and it didn't quite work. Made a dirty move on his teammate, that didn't quite work. Well, at the time, I guess it brought out a caution, but it really was when he took Spring Roll out. Diogo Sebastião will finish second, Saul Goodman third. Good race for Team YouTube. John Panini finishes fourth, Chad Broski fifth. Missing Sock will get sixth, The Father seventh, Chris eighth, Spencer Alfredo ninth, Beijing Beef 10th. That's going to be a pretty decent race. Maybe you can hold on to the championship. We shall see. Karichimo will finish 11th. Wine Silliman 12th. His teammate Jacques Croissant will finish 13th. Phil Slow will finish 14th. The Sun will finish 15th. Spring Roll 16th after a dirty move was put from Sebastio. 17th May Borowski. 18th Sussus Amogus. And then rounding out your field, 19th through 25th, we got David Bialois, OxyClean, Tetsu, Eliza Doe, Mahavir Raghunathan, Rajiro Espinel, and then Gus Fringe, which will definitely hurt him in the championship standings. So what a race here from Phoenix. A lot of passing, a lot of good racing. As now we head back to another mile and a half. We go down to Atlanta. And, yeah, I hope to see you guys there. That is it for this time. I'll see you then. Goodbye.